Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another tutorial on my library, Basic Element. Basic Element literally is a very simple base class for building web components. So I just started up a little boilerplate here, and first we need to go grab it. So would you go do this? You go to my website, alexmercedcoder.com, and then you'll head over to my JavaScript libraries. And then here we'll find basic element. Okay, and then we'll head over to GitHub to get the CDN link. Nope, that's the wrong link, so I have to go fix that. Boo. Okay, so let's just head over to my profile, look up basic element. Promise when you go check that out, I will have that link fixed. Repositories. Basic element. Okay, and then here we have the CDN link, which we will add to our HTML file. So index here, script. Okay, and then there's the source. Let's put a defer on that, and then there we go. I have access to that library. Let me just get rid of some of these other files that are open up here. Okay, and then I want to open up the JavaScript file that's in here. Okay. And essentially what I want to do is create some components. Okay. So let's go back and take a look at the syntax. Okay. So the way this works, okay, basically this is basic components with state. So if you're familiar with React, you know what state is. State is just data that belongs inside the component that when it changes, the component rebuilds itself. So let's say we wanted to create a component. We'll just create a basic hello world component. Class hello world extends basic element. And let's say we wanted to have this hello world. What's going to do is that it's going to have some state. So we have to use a constructor to invoke that state. So we're going to do this. But we have to invoke the parent constructor, and it's in the parent constructor where you pass whatever you want the state to be. So in this case, we'll just say the text starts off as hello world. Okay. And then here we can have methods. Okay. And also we need our template, or our basically the template. So let's see here. That's going to be our render function. So again, just like React, we have a render function. So render function, which is going to take in, I think it's state and props. Yep, state props. And then here, this base has to return a template string. So this could be simple as like h1 the state.text, because basically what it does is it passes in this object. It's going to be passed in as this, and then all the props, all the properties of the element will be passed in as props. Okay, so there we go, template string. Okay, and then I don't want to just return. Yeah, I want to return the string. Cool. So that's the basics, and then we have to just register it. So it's just window dot custom element registry, or just custom elements dot define. Then we're going to call this the HTML tag will be hello world, and it's based off the hello world class. Okay, so that does that. So let's actually add that to our HTML. So I'm going to delete all this. and then put in a hello world tag. Save. Now let's just so you can see that when I do that, it creates 3 different hello worlds and all identical because I encapsulated it as a component. See? Nice. Okay. That is good. Okay, and then let's give each one an ID so we can grab each one individually. ID 1. Just copy that ID. Cool. And let's add an event listener to it. Okay, we'll do that after this. So what we're going to do is we're going to document dot query selector, and then we'll grab first the ID of 1. We'll add an event listener. Add event listener, which will happen on click. Okay, and essentially, or actually what I could do, let's do this. Make it on all H1s. Okay. Then, when you click on any H1, we pass the event object into the event. And then I'll use event.target, which is the element. And since all 3 of those H1s, actually no, we want to use the hello world element. Since they're all hello world elements, they're going to have a set state function built in which I can pass in the new state. Text goodbye world. Okay, save. And let's see if that all works. I'll put the inspector in case that way if there's any errors I can see them. And that looks good to me. So let's see if I click on one. Goodbye world. But then, oh, because I did query selector, so this changed that. Let's do query selector all dot for each Okay, so let's keep adjusting this. So again, when I did query selector, only selected the first hello world. So for me to select all the hello worlds, I have to do query selector all, which gives me an array. So I want to loop over that array. So then I need to do a callback. So value will be each individual element. And then we need to put in a function. And inside that function, I need to cut this out here and do value. Actually, I'm going to change this to element so it's more clear. Element. And then we're going to say element. Oh no. Recopy this. Okay. Control X. I'll just keep it value. Value. There we go. Dot add event listener. So that should basically, again, get an array of all the hello worlds, loop over it, and then add an event listener to each one. That should do that. So now let that refresh. And now I should be able to click on all three. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, and the cool thing about that is that, you know, with the set state what the set state function does is that it's going to change the state to this. So this becomes the new state. So basically it's no longer hello world, and it's automatically going to rerun the render function. So in that case, I don't have to sit there and create all this logic. I just have to say this is the new state, and then the component rebuilds itself. Essentially the way React kind of does it. Only difference is that I don't do it as an asynchronous act, which is something I probably should adjust in the future, just so that way, you know, when you start doing large amounts of changing state, it doesn't become overly blocking. But yeah, no, this kind of does the job. Okay, and you can quickly set state, and that's all basic element does. It allows you to have stateful components. I can add props to it, so I can be like props and add cheese equals hello. Although again, the props are just gonna be pure strings, so you can't like pass elements and arrays as props. No, it depends how you do it. There are ways to work around it, but there wouldn't be a simple way to do it. I'll show you a quick way you could do it if you wanted to. But let's see here. What did I do there? Props cheese equals hello. So I can go back over here, add another line, h2, and then do props dot cheese, because that was one of the props I just passed in. h2, save. Okay, and the other two are, because I only passed cheese to the first one. So if I click on each of these again, I can change the state, because so I have to give a different, if I give a different cheese to each one. So cheese equals Gouda, cheese equals Munster, save. There you go. Boop, boop, boop. And if you did really want to pass in like data, I mean, what you could do is you could do something like this. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, so there I have an array essentially that I passed in. It's a string. And then what I'd have to do is probably in my render function, before I return any value, because you can put in whatever logic you want before you return the value, what I might do something like this is eval var my array equals props. Oh, I did this with the wrong quotation marks. Backticks. Var my array equals props dot. What did I put in? Props dot cheese. Okay. And then we'll console.log my var to see if it still exists after the eval call, which it should. So let's see what happens. Monster is not defined. Good is not defined. Okay, because it's a string. So, at least for now, just to illustrate the point, let's make these all arrays. I'm getting the error because it's just plopping the cheese as a string, but it thinks it's a variable name because I didn't put quotation marks around it. So let me just make this all different arrays. Or actually, I'll just put square brackets around it. That's fine with me. That will do the trick. Monster is not defined. Oh, I see why. This is still an array of strings, so doot, doot. That should do it. Okay, so now it's only complaining about my var. So let's take a look back at the JavaScript. It's my R, not my var. Save. My R, var, my R is not. Okay, the older way I could do this is I could declare the variable beforehand. So I'll do var, my R, and then run the eval. And then that works. So, I mean, there is a way. Again, it's not the easiest way if you really want to pass like arrays or other kind of data in there. I wouldn't necessarily, but the thing is that you're not as encapsulated as you are with React, so the need for that isn't quite the same. But the possibility is there. Okay, so let me just get rid of that. That was a little more complicated than I was hoping. And what else would I like to show you? I mean, there's basically sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want. Before that return, I knew there was one other thing I wanted to show. But yeah, you can interject all the logic and play with stuff here and do what you want. Yeah, no, that's it. That's all I want to say. So if you wanted to grab like stuff from the parent, so if you wanted to grab data from a parent element, you could grab that here. You could sit there and just say like this dot. I forget how to get parent node in JavaScript. Okay, I knew there was like a property. Dot parent node dot node name. Okay, so yeah, that's how you would do that. Okay. So basically, if my parent node had props, because it's also one of these kind of elements, a basic element, I could just be like this dot parent node dot state or dot props, and I could bring in stuff from the parent node. So that's something just to be aware of. There's ways to do it. Basically, you have access to all your normal JavaScript tools, which is nice. So it has a very Reacty feel when creating your components, but allows you to have a lot of the other extra cool JavaScript flexibility because you're working within the web component API. So that's it. My name is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com. Have a great day and enjoy.